and we know where we are. The Sac County groundbreaking plan, Tony was just saying that it will depend on the letting and the contractor.
Yeah, the output of the letting will probably depend. They'll make their decision on how they're going to approach a project after that. So.
Okay, so we're probably looking in June sometime, right?
I think what will happen is after we have the letting and we know the apparent low bidder, Mike will be talking with Moyna and see, based on that conversation, how they plan on approaching, and he'll let them know that you're wanting to do a groundbreaking, so we need to coordinate those efforts, and so they hopefully will give us an idea of when they're looking at, so we can start those discussions.
I actually met their foreman in the restaurant over here, home with the best burger in the state, and told him we were interested in that. And he was really interested in bringing out this piece of equipment that they have, and really making a big deal out of it. So we'll be looking either from one or both of you gentlemen to be there for the groundbreaking ceremony. So and we'll get everybody else rabble-roused as well. So we'll try to pick a nice day. That's the most important thing. Ann and I'll stay on top of that and make sure that we let the association, and we'll stay on top of it with you guys and Moyni's and see what we can do. I'm assuming it will be at in 28, which is the Sac-Calhoun County line. And boy, if you ever get this paved through here, we're having a party, I'm telling you. Right on the highway. We'll be dancing on the highway. Presentation before the DOT Commission. First, Bob, would you tell us a little bit about your last presentation before we go on to future ones? You took some folks from Fort Dodge and...
Yeah, I hosted 4 speakers at the Marshalltown meeting in March, and those folks, if I get them all right, I'm not going to, I guess the names are not material, but it was representative from Iowa Central Community College, representative from Decker Truck Line, representative from CNS Products, which is International Shipper, and representative from the city, I believe. And evidently the presentation was timely. It's very difficult to determine when it's appropriate or when it's important or when it's effective. Timing sometimes can be important, and in this particular case apparently it was somewhat, although it's hard to say. I'll comment later, but the word shadow boxing comes to mind. But be that as it may, it went well, and I think that, and again, I'll comment a little bit later, I think maybe a little bit more of this input in the decision-making process would be a good idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, we thank you for taking the folks down to make the presentation to it. It helps if they hear from different people along the corridor and not just the same person all the time. Trust me, they know me, so somebody else can be there. June 7th and 8th, the meeting is in Fort Madison. Do we have anybody planning to make the trip? Is it quite, Bob?
If no one else is going to go, we have to cover it. There's no doubt about that.
It's quite a ways, and this is when the dates that are listed are when the DOT meetings are on the road. So I don't know about a presentation in June. What do you think? The agenda was pretty short, wasn't it? Or have they put it out yet? Okay.
What do you guys who regularly go think about having a presentation? I think presence, as you say, is vitally important, especially because they're going to be voting to approve the 5-year plan that does have a request for 71 in it.
Storm Lake is coming up right after that. That's a critical one.
I agree.
Yeah, the 5-year plan has come somewhat in stone, somewhat in stone.
I can't remember in 30 years when they actually changed the draft to at the final month.
No, that's pretty much a done deal.
I concur with that, Tony, that they don't change it at the... It would be great to have a presentation from the people in Storm Lake and around the area, or even Ida County. Do you think we could get a representative from Ida County to make a presentation at the Storm Lake meeting? I'm not hedging, I'm just trying to get new faces before them. And because you will be the whole gap there, yeah.
And my assumption would be Storm Lake and whatever entity would make a presentation of their own, and having Ida County go representing Fort Lane Highway 20 would probably be a wise thing
Are you willing to do that?
pile on.
I mean, we can help you with, information, maps, PowerPoints, things like that, if we can get Ida County to commit to that. Mason, what do you think?
I'm sure give us some more time to gather some people up.
Okay. That would be great, I think. It's not
What's
so
the
much.
date?
August 9th and 10th, it's on the agenda, yes.
Shirley, at the moment, I know that Dan Kenny, president of Iowa Central, has it on his schedule or on his calendar to speak at the DOT meeting in August.
Good, good.
But
Well,
we
it
thought it
doesn't,
appropriate because they have a satellite office there, and of course TV's there.
okay.
So at the moment, I know that it's on his schedule, but somebody's going to need to follow up with him and coordinate that.
That was Dan?
Dan McKinney.
Kenny.
Kenny.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay. And then in October, there will be a meeting in Dubuque. We have traveled to Dubuque. I mean, Fort Madison's a hall as well as Dubuque, but we've been there, so.
Well, again, unless somebody says that they're going to Fort Madison, I'll go. It's not the big thing in life that I want to do, but somebody has to cover that meeting. So
Okay.
unless I hear back, I'll plan on going.
Okay, we'll talk afterwards then. So keep Dubuque in mind, and if there is another community, county, or whatever that would like to make the presentation in Dubuque, that's fine, but I think it's imperative that we continue to do that because we are on the corridor, so. And I'll go if nobody else will, so.
Charlie, one point of information here is that the presentations really need to be now from Woodbury and Ida County and Sac,
That's true.
because that's where it's left. So you guys have to carry the bulk of it.
We can do that,
Good.
can't we? Okay.